From 2018 July to December, I got to about 10,000 followers. And then from December 2018 to the end of January of that next year, or February-ish, I was able to get to 20,000 followers. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't already know, my name is Kaylani. If you haven't subscribed already to my channel, go ahead and subscribe now. Okay, so today I am going to be giving you guys all the tips on how I was able to grow an Instagram following. And I'm also going to be giving you guys my why and how I started to become an influencer or content creator, whatever you want to call it. So let's just get into the video. So I'm just going to start with how I started and how it all began. So back in 2018, actually even before that, I always wanted to work in the beauty space, but I just didn't know how. So in 2018 I went back to school. So going back to school did make me feel a little better, but school was never really my thing. I would always be just like in class, like, you know. During that time when I went back to school, I was getting a lot of calls and a lot of texts from my friend Wanda. If you don't know who she is, you guys should follow her. I'll put her socials in the description box. She is an influencer as well, and she just kept telling me, like, you know, you gotta start posting more, you gotta post your hair and stuff like that. At first I was like I don't think I can get on camera and talk to people. That just wasn't in my comfort zone. I always wanted to have like a YouTube channel, things like that, but I just never did it. So I started posting more, and you know, as I was being consistent with posting, I started getting followers. So that would probably be my first tip. And I got my notes here just in case I ramble on. So consistency. And when I say consistency, being consistent, I don't mean posting once a week. I'm talking about every day, and if not every day, at least 5 to 6 times a week. It's even harder now that I am trying to incorporate other things besides hair and beauty into my content, and I'm just putting more thought and effort into it, which you're gonna need if you want to start getting paid, because brands want to see that you're serious about your job, because that's what it is. You want to be posting things that are valuable to your audience. So like, what am I going to be getting from you? So at that time I was posting my journey, basically, because I came from really damaged hair into bringing my curls back to life. And at that time my hair was starting to really pop, and it grew out a lot from where it used to be. So me sharing that journey with people, with girls with natural hair, that brought them to me, because you know that they see somebody who's gone through that, and maybe they're going through that right now, and you know, want to follow my journey to keep up with the tips so they can, you know, be in the same position. So you want to be consistent in posting also, because no one wants to follow you if you're not putting out content, if you're gonna just be here and there once a week. And the way that the algorithm is set up on Instagram now, it's just gonna be impossible for you to grow your following if you're not posting. And at first I felt like I would be really annoying to my friends and family when I didn't have, you know, other people outside of my friends and family. But what stuck with me is you need to be posting for people that need that content, not for your family and your friends. And if your family and friends aren't supporting you, then they ain't a real one, okay? So that's tip number 1, be consistent. Next tip would be to figure out your niche and to make it clear to your audience what they're coming to your page for. So like I said, curly hair was my niche, and I made sure to put that in my bio. So when people come to your page, they want to see, you know, your bio, what you're all about, and then in your pictures they want to see. So for example, if you're all about makeup, you want to be showing, you know, makeup tutorials, your makeup looks, makeup details, things like that. Your page is going to be your resume for these brands to see, you know, what you're all about. So you need to make it clear to your audience what your niche is. My third tip would be just to start. If you don't have all the equipment, that is fine. I started off with just my iPhone 6, I think it was at the time, and I took all my pictures on there. I didn't have any kind of lighting or things like that. If you wait to have like all the fancy equipment, you're never gonna start, because that's just another excuse to stop you from putting out content. Another tip I have is for those who think maybe it's too late to start. It's never too late to do something, is what I learned, at least. Because I know for me, when I started, I was 24, I believe. And you know, I was married, I had 2 kids, and I'm like, you know, all these beauty gurus, is that how you say it? Gurus? A lot of them are really young. So for me at the time, I was like, girl, you are too old to be trying to be on camera showing your hair and stuff. You know, you got kids to take care of, things like that. But you just gotta get out of that mindset. Something that I seen online one day before starting, because I was having those doubts. I seen a meme, and it was like, you ever walk down the bread aisle and you see all those different types of brands all next to each other, and you know they're still making money because people are gonna go to that specific bread because of a specific reason. So that applies to you as well. Maybe you're not doing this or that a certain way, but people are gonna come to you because they like you and the way that you do things. So you just gotta get out of that mindset and, you know, believe that you are valuable too, and that you are different from everybody else. You can still entertain your audience with your personality. So it's not too late to start. My next tip would be don't give up, which ties into being consistent. It is gonna get hard, so you're gonna need to just keep going. I feel like there's a lot of people out there who don't think that content creating or influencing is, you know, a real job, but you really have to put a lot of time and a lot of effort, and even investing your money into this. So it is a real job. You know, you do have to put in a lot of time for it, so you can't give up, because you're not gonna get a following overnight. You're gonna have to keep working towards it every day, and it'll get there. Let me tell you, this is the most consistent thing I have ever done in my life, and I think it's because I really enjoy it. There have been a lot of times where, you know, I wanted to give up because I felt like this was going wrong, or, you know, like I'm not getting a following fast enough, or, you know, my pictures aren't as good as so-and-so or whatever. And I still have those thoughts till this day. But you know, there was even some months where I didn't get any sponsored posts, so I wasn't getting paid, and I was kind of down about that. And you know, there's gonna be times where you have to work for free first in order to get those sponsored posts. So you have to be willing to keep working towards that and not give up. Tip number 7 is to engage with your audience and build relationships with the people that support you. Let me just say that you are never too good to reply to somebody's comments. You know, people want all these supporters, but they don't want to give love back to the people who helped you get there. The next tip is to do collaborations with people in your niche and network with other influencers. Every time that I have collaborated with other influencers, my following grew significantly, is the word I was looking for. And it's also like, not even besides the followers, it's just always good to talk amongst people that are going through the same thing as you. I know for me, I've built a lot of friendships with other influencers, which have helped me to just learn more, especially as like the new girl or whatever, because I haven't been doing it as long as a lot of these influencers. I love to collaborate and to meet new people, especially if they're going through what I'm going through and doing the same things that I'm doing. I know a lot of people would look at it like, you know, competition, but for me, it's just like, you should be thinking not, why does she have this or why does she have that? You should be thinking, how can I get there? Let's talk and let me follow her so I can see how to get there. So collaborating and networking with other influencers. My next tip would be, don't just rely on one platform. I would be working towards multiple platforms. So for me, I have Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and I'm just trying to make sure that I'm trying to grow all of them all at once, just because, for example, TikTok, you know, if you grew your TikTok over these past couple months and then, you know, we hear these rumors that TikTok is going to be banned, what are you going to do when it's gone? You're going to have to start all over with all of these other platforms. So I would work towards building all of them. I know for me, at first I started with just Instagram, and you know, I got really lucky, so I wanted to branch out and use these other platforms. And then another tip that I've learned myself is that when you share your content on multiple platforms, brands are gonna see that, and if you have multiple platforms that you're gonna share that content for them on, they will pay you more. So my last tip would be for your captions and hashtags and things like that. For your captions, you know, using a Meg Thee Stallion lyric on all of your posts is just not gonna, it's just not gonna cut it. For me at first, it was hard to be vulnerable and to, you know, open myself to where I can share with you guys how I feel and things like that in my captions. But I notice when I do that, when I'm open to you guys and I share how I feel, people can relate, and people want to do that. They want to relate to you. They want to know that you are just like them. You are real. You're not, you know, just this Instagram famous person. Putting out captions, meaningful captions and valuable captions, that's going to help the next person. And then also with that, hashtags and tagging pages that will repost your content. That's how you're gonna get the following. For me, with my curly hair posts, when I started, I would use hashtags for my niche that would be like curly hairstyles, big curly hair, long curly hair, afro curls, deep conditioning, things like that, that would bring people to my page. I know a lot has changed on Instagram as far as the algorithm these days, so I'm not using as many hashtags. You can use up to 30, I believe. I'm not sure if that has changed. I don't use that many anymore just because it just seems kind of spammy, and you can get shadow banned that way if you're using the same hashtags for every post. And if you're using 30 every single post and you're using the bigger ones that have like 1 million followers on that hashtag. So for me, for my posts these days, I try not to use hashtags on every single post because it just seems spammy, and I've gotten shadow banned before. I think that's what it was, and I think that's what's going on right now, because the way that my content is being shown to like barely any of my followers is just crazy. So yeah, I would switch out the hashtags that you use, try and switch it up, trying not to use hashtags on every single post. And then the other thing is to tag pages that will repost your content. For curly hair, there's like Curly Beauties, Natural Chicks, My Hair Crush, Amazing Natural Hair. There's just a lot of pages that are specifically for reposting people's content. So those are basically all of the tips that help me grow my following. I know I didn't share before, but I started in 2018, and from 2018 July to December, I got to about 10,000 followers. And then from December 2018 to the end of January of that next year, or February-ish, I was able to get to 20,000 followers. So it did happen for me really fast. It's not always going to be like that. I would just be patient and, you know, be consistent and use those tips to help you to grow an audience and to share your story, share your journey, whatever it may be. It's not always going to be easy, but it is going to be worth it, especially if you want to take this seriously and you want to do this as a career. So thank you guys so much for watching. I am so glad that you are here through the end of this video, and I hope to see you in my next video.